Shalom, kings and queens. Shalom. This is the other book of what this part of the Enoch. The first one was the Enoch, and this one is the book of Enoch. Excuse me. And this one is the Babylon of Timbuktu. This is another one that you should pick up and read when you get a chance. The author is Rudolph R. Windsor. He have some more few books I'm gonna put up on here for you to get. That's good. You should pick up. I'm gonna just go over a few details about this book and why it's important, why you should read and have understanding on it. It covers the ancient black civilization. It goes over the original white race. It covers the original black Jews. It goes into black civilization in Africa, and it goes into the birth of Islam. So with the birth of Islam, this book is very important when it comes to the birth of Islam because it goes into all the understanding you need to have as far as concerning the birth of Islam and Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? It talks about how Muhammad was a camel driver, how Muhammad couldn't read and write. But this is understanding because they tell you that Muhammad wrote the Quran and things of that nature. You know, how can he wrote the Quran when he couldn't even read or write? He was a camel driver. This is way back before Islam was a religion. You know, before Islam was called a Nation of Islam, it was called Persian mythology. So this book gives you understanding on that as well. And it also shows you a future prophecy that's connected in the Bible that I'm going to read in the book of Luke when Christ said that if Jerusalem could spread with armies, flee into the wilderness. That was a future prophecy that Christ said in the Bible for our people to flee out of there from Roman persecution, in 70 AD. And that's what I mean with Babylon to Timbuktu. So this is also understanding that you should have why you know our people, we didn't come from Africa. We fled and ran into Africa. That's what this book is also giving proof and revelations on. So when you get a chance, pick this up. I'm going to put it up there for you to read it because also this is important because it tells you in scripture that our people are caught between wood and stone. Wood is the cross and the stone is the rock in Mecca. You know what I'm saying? So we have to get understanding on over in that time what happened with our people getting down or transferring over into, getting down with the Nation of Islam. A lot of our people did this in the time in Africa because Muhammad, the things he did in order to form his religion. So we'll go into all that and basic understanding in here. You get a chance, like I say, pick it up and read it. And when it comes to Babylon and Timbuktu is very important. Like I say, it's important for many reasons. It's important because it gives you understanding on black civilization over in Africa with our people. It gives you understanding on what it means, Babylon to Timbuktu. Like I tell you, in 70 AD, our people was fleeing, running from Roman persecution out of Palestine. You know what I'm saying? We ran into Africa, and that's why you know that we are not Africans. It's 4 African families that come from Africa, that come from Ham, I should say, because Africans are Hamites. Black people, we are Shemites. We're Shemitic, not Hamitic. You know what I'm saying? Because if you think you're not, then ask yourself a question. What's one of them 4 African families you derive from? You know what I'm saying? You got Ethiopians, you got the Egyptians, you got the Canaanites. Which one did you come out of? So you have to understand that this book gives resolve and answers on that. But it's also important, like I say, because in Islam, I'm going to give it to you in a nutshell. The birth of Islam came from a group of Moors. Our people, black people, a group of Moors that came over from Spain. And they came over into Africa during this time, and they had their hand in our destruction of our people in that time because our people had to transfer over and get down with their religion. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of our people was raped and killed, you know what I'm saying, behind this during this time. So it's very important to also go into things like, why we shouldn't be dealing with the Nation of Islam. Before Islam, you know what I'm saying, was called Islam, was called Persian mythology. But see, Muhammad, like I say, he was a camel driver. He couldn't even read and write. So how could he write the Quran? You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand, like I tell you, our people are caught between wood and stone. The wood is the cross, which is Christianity. The stone is the rock in Mecca. So we caught in between those religions. That's why I tell you in scriptures that for many, Christ is a sanctuary, but for some, he's a stumbling block. You got to wake up and get some understanding. But this is Babylon to Timbuktu. Pick it up when you get a chance. Peace and blessings. It up is called one of the books is Judea and Trembles Under Rome. Excuse me. Judea and trembles under Rome. The other one is Valley of the Dry Bones. That one is also a good one to read or pick up, because Valley of the Dry Bones is also spoken of, in the book of Ezekiel in the Bible. So it's very important for you, and a person like myself, to get understanding on who the Valley of the Dry Bones are, and get understanding on why we are the Valley of the Dry Bones. So pick these books up as well. I'm gonna put them up on the screen for you to see them and get it. But that's the Book of Enoch, and that's the Book of Babylon and Timbuktu by Rudolph R. Winsler, and the Enoch is by R.H. Charles. Pick them up. Peace and blessings. Shalom.